If you just got into Battletech and now you're wondering where to buy more mechs and what you should do in order to paint those mechs, well, maybe I can answer these questions. Hello my dear friends, I'm Corey and welcome to this new video, a follow-up to the previous one that I did, this one right here, in which I have unboxed all of the 4-star boxes for Battletech. And let me tell you, I had a lot of fun. Go check it out if you didn't yet. I had a lot of fun opening those boxes, and I think that those were the greatest star boxes that I have ever opened for a tabletop war game, with plenty of things inside every single one of them. I'm talking about maps, terrain, rules, cards, and models. Beautiful, beautiful models. Tons of models, actually. And I wondered, after I completely paint all of these models, where can I go to buy more of those? Therefore, I started to look around, and I thought that maybe you would like to know too. This video is going to be split in two parts, and hopefully it's not going to be like an hour long like the previous one that I did about Battletech. And in the first part of this video, I will show you all the different manufacturers and different products that you can buy from those manufacturers. And the second part is going to be focused more on painting. But spoiler, I'm not going to teach you exactly how to paint a mech start to finish. Instead, it's going to be like a general kind of suggestion and advice in order to positively approach the hobby, the painting side of this hobby, and just giving you a starting point for painting your miniatures. But we have to actually start with the different manufacturers, because Catalyst Games Lab, it's not actually the only manufacturer for official Battletech models, but there is at least another one, plus 3D printing, which is something that is already a niche of a niche, but I think that maybe between some of you there is actually someone that would like to print their mechs instead of just buying them. So there is also that for you. Alright, so let's just dive in by starting with Catalyst Games Lab, actually, because the 4-star boxes are not actually the only way from which you can acquire more models, but actually they also sell different type of product with different type of miniatures. So let's just start with the very first and most common one, which are the force packs. First up, we got the force packs. Each box comes with between 4 and 6 pre-assembled mechs, making them super convenient for players who want a lance of mechs ready for battle right out of the box. Inside you also find two types of cards, the Mech Warrior data cards and Alpha Strike cards. If you want to know more about those, check out my previous video. The miniatures themselves are made of plastic, which makes them both durable and easy to work with, especially when it comes to painting. So if you're looking to jump in quickly with a ready-to-play set, the force pack is a solid choice. I'll be honest with you, personally I think that the force packs are the best type of product that you could possibly buy from Catalyst Games Lab if you want to buy more miniatures, just because the great value of these boxes. You have basically 3, 4, 5, 6 mechs in one single box, which is basically already a squad that you don't even have to build and base, you just have to paint eventually. So these boxes are one of the best way, as I just said, to acquire more miniatures. And the cool thing about these boxes is that there are a lot of variants of them. There are boxes for the Inner Sphere lances, there are boxes of Star from the clans, there are boxes focused on specific mercenary group or even pirates, so you have plenty of choices. But let's just say that you would like to buy maybe just one single mechs. Well, you have a couple of choices, which are the Salvage Boxes and the premium miniatures that Catalyst Games Lab sell on their website. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Next up, we got the Salvage Boxes, which are fun, but a bit more unpredictable. These are essentially blind boxes, so you won't know which mech you're getting until you open it. Each box includes a random mech along with its Mech Warrior data card and Alpha Strike card. If you're into surprises, this could be a fun option, but keep in mind it's not the most reliable way to build up your forces quickly. Personally, I think a cool way to use these salvage boxes is to grab a handful, split them with a friend, and then each create a squad for a game. Sort of like the booster draft format in Magic the Gathering. Lastly, for the collectors out there, like me, Catalyst also offer a line of premium miniatures, available exclusively on their website. These models are cast in high-quality resin, which give them sharper details than the plastic versions. They do require some assembly though, but the trade-off is worth it. These models often allow for more customization, providing a few alternate weapon options and posing choices, so you can really make each mech your own. Personally, I see these miniatures more as a collectible than a practical model. I think they're absolutely worth it if you're a fan of detailed custom display pieces. So these are all the different options that Catalyst Games Lab offer to you if you want to expand your collection of mechs. But there is a small problem. And the problem is that if you are European, like me, or if you are basically from every other part of the world except for the US, well, you will have to pay at least $100 if you want to buy maybe one single model. No, I'm not joking. Because I was ready to buy a lot of things from Catalyst Games Lab, and then I went to the checkout page and I saw that I would have to pay like $150 for shipping, and even for just a single Salvage box I was paying $100 and something. Needless to say, I wasn't really happy about spending that amount of money just for shipping. I mean, the box costed like $10 and then I had to spend like $100 just for shipping that tiny box. Therefore, I sent an email to the Catalyst Games Lab support, and they told me that there are no other shipping method that they can offer to me and to subscribe to their newsletter, because they are trying to find different ways to ship their stuff in Europe or in other parts of the world. So I suggest you check out other website. For example, Fortress Miniatures. We'll leave the link down in the description if you're curious. They still ship from the US, but at least the shipping method that they offer are way more affordable than the ones of Catalyst Games Lab. This is the models that I show you are from Fortress Miniatures, because, oh boy, the shipping cost. But now let's move from Catalyst Games Lab to a different type of manufacturer that still sell official models for Battletech. And let me tell you, if you are like me, someone that loves old school models, very classic type of miniatures, well, let me present you Ironwind Metals. Ironwind Metals specialize in casting classic Battletech sculpts in metal, which give them a distinct nostalgic feel. These models usually require a bit more experience to work with, as metal can be trickier to clean, assemble, and sometimes paint compared to plastic or resin. But if you're up for the challenge, it's a rewarding process, filled with nostalgia, since many of these models come in those iconic blister packs, just like the ones from the 90s. Plus, they offer a wide selection of online exclusive mechs, available only on their website, making it a great option if you're hunting for something more unique. You know, after I discovered the existence of Ironwind Metals, I could hear my wallet screaming in pain because I was about to buy a lot of model, especially because they are still in the United States. But fortunately, there is an alternative if you are European. And that alternative is in the UK. And you know, the problem is that UK, it's not in the European Union anymore, therefore you're not going to save a lot of money, you are still going to save some money for shipping. Anyway, the alternative that I'm talking about is the official Ralpartha website. If I'm not mistaken, officially Ralpartha is a division of Ironwind Metals since 2014, which means they offer essentially the same models, except for the online exclusive that are only available on the Ironwind Metals website. As I said, if you're European like me, Ralpartha might be a better option for picking up some classic Battletech models, since you'll likely save a bit on shipping costs. And now it's time to talk about 3D printing. And let me tell you, if you're willing to print your mechs, you are very lucky, because there are a lot of sculptures out there that will offer you a lot of STL files that you can buy or even get for free that will perfectly resemble, I should say, original official models, or even something custom made that doesn't really exist officially in the lore, but it's still very, very cool to look at. With 3D printing, you have access to a wide range of designs, including some original sculpts that closely resemble official models. A big plus is that many of these designs are free or very affordable, and you can print as many mechs as you want. When done right, a 3D printed mech can look nearly identical to the official miniatures, making it hard to tell the differences. For those interested in 3D printing, the range of designers is huge, but I'd recommend checking out a few specific creators, which I'll link in the description below. Thunderhead Studio and Mini Hulk Mechs on Call3D offer some fantastic designs for both mechs and terrain pieces. Another one worth checking out is Hardware Studio, which has its own website with some amazing custom-made mechs, including a few inspired by dinosaurs, which is objectively awesome. Plus, if you don't have a 3D printer at home, you can even order pre-printed models from them. So at this point, you have bought a lot of mechs, or you have even printed a lot of those mechs, and you're wondering what you should do if you want to paint them, which I highly suggest, because having your model painted and play with your painted model is an absolutely amazing experience. I loved it to the point that I will not play a game if all of my models are completely painted. And I know that for some of you this might sound a little bit crazy, I understand that, but I just love painting my models and I just love playing with my painted models. So if you want to start and paint your models, well, I will try to help you and try to tell you what you should do, not from a tools, what kind of paints perspective, what you should buy, what you should do when painting your mechs, because that is a very different type of video. I don't want to focus too much on every single step that you should take in order to paint your mechs, because, well, painting a miniature is a very subjective experience. You will have to learn how to paint those models, and it is a journey. So as I told you at the beginning of the video, I'm not going to show you specifically how to paint a mech. I am just going to show you what I do when I paint my mechs, and I will give you some advice in order for you to start in the best way possible, at least I hope. So for this part, I'll try to give you some friendly advice on how to get into painting if you're curious to try it out. But if you're interested in a detailed tutorial on how to get this exact Vaporwave style look that you'll see me paint in this section of the video, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to make a full tutorial. Alright, so if you're looking to dive into painting your own models, there are already tons of resources out there. You'll find plenty of tutorial videos on my channel and across YouTube to help you get started with painting techniques and ideas. My personal advice, keep it simple at the beginning. Don't feel pressure to paint like a professional. Painting is an art, even when you're painting miniatures. And like all art, it's something that takes time and practice to get comfortable with. Start with the basics. For anyone new to this, focus on the essential steps. Properly cleaning and preparing the model for paint, learning to prime and base coat, and then experimenting with chaining, dry brushing, and basing. I like to see each of these techniques as a building block, and mastering them is really all you need to create something awesome. Plus, these techniques don't just improve your models, they're all the fun once you get the hang of them. But remember, painting should be a relaxing and enjoyable part of the hobby. It's meant to be fun, a way to unwind, and a chance to express your own creativity. But the most important thing that you should always keep in mind is that you don't have to worry about how others might judge your work. The only opinion that really matters is yours. Unless, of course, you're asking for feedbacks from a friend or someone in the community you trust. So focus on enjoying the process and let your personal style come through. One of the best things about Battletech is the freedom it gives you as a painter. Unlike other wargames, there are no hard and fast rules about faction color or unit restriction. There is no one right way to paint a mech in Battletech. If you're into lore-based painting, there's an amazing variety of factions or mercenary groups and eras. But there's also nothing stopping you from making your own unique color scheme or even creating a custom group with its own backstory. For instance, the Vaporwave color scheme I'm using here is part of a mercenary group I created myself. It's not quote-unquote official to the Battletech universe, but that's what makes it fun and personal. But if you're looking for color scheme inspiration, there are two great resources to check out: Unit Color Compendium and Camo Specs Online. They both offer extensive catalogs of color scheme across different Battletech faction and eras, with just a slightly different layout and presentation. Either one will help you find the perfect lore-friendly look for your mechs. I'll leave a link in the description as well. Alright my friends, this is everything that I wanted to show you in this video. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it, and also leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos in the future. I am buying a lot of mechs and I am painting a lot of mechs. Also, yeah, let me know down in the comments if you want to see a tutorial on how to paint this kind of vaporwave, synthwave kind of color scheme that I use for my mechs, which is a mercenary company that I came out with, which you know, it was just the best occasion for me to just try this color scheme on something different. And I guess that this is the end. No, it's not the end of the video, because you should also go down in the description, because there are a couple of links. One of my Instagram, in which I post some of my painted miniatures sometimes. It's kind of there. I sometimes post something. Go check it out if you want. And there is also a way to support my channel, a Patreon, in which you can donate $1 if you want to support what I do here on YouTube, even though you don't have to. Don't worry about it. Alright, so I guess this is actually the end of the video. Thank you very much for staying with me until the end, and I hope to see you the next time. I'm Corey. Ciao, ciao.